I feel like I'm forgetting something. Am I forgetting
You probably
anything?
asked
I
you.
know,
That's
God
why.
damn.
Is the oven on?
Oh, now I've got to go check now.
Do you know where your children are? It's 10 p.m.
I don't have any children that I know of.
Have you done your pre-show shit? Or
Yeah.
are we going to be interrupted at 44 minutes past the hour because it's time for you to dump a deuce?
I guess we'll see. All right, here we go. Ambient free and broadcasting directly from hell.
This is Total Babble. Total Babble. It's a show about music, pop culture, social media, movies, the internet, relationships, TV, whatever. Total Babble. The Total Babble Podcast.
Yes, that's right. I've stopped taking my sleep medication. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm semi-rested, and it is hell here. I live in hell. I don't know what Total Babble East is like, but Total Babble West, it has been over 10 degrees out of the last month, like 28 days, where it hasn't been 10 degrees above where it should be. And maybe this is the new normal. Maybe we all just live in hell and all the rich people can overcharge us for air conditioning, which is probably the next step. Maybe that's how they rationalize global warming. It will make them money. I'm Stu. She's Emily.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of you for being ambient free. But the next logical question is for me, considering you seem quite hyped up, is did you sleep?
I got about 6.5 hours, which for me is good and average.
Wow. That's actually quite impressive. 6.5 hours is good.
Yeah,
Great
I just
job.
resolved I was going to do it, and it wasn't going to be an issue. And maybe next week it will be an issue, and I'll have to do it again. But I'm just doing my part as a human being to not placate to big pharma. That's where we are.
I think that is wise.
Yeah. Kind of boring conversation, but how's your weather there? I'm just curious. Are you way hot? Do you live in hell like I do?
Yes.
Okay.
It is hot as sweaty balls, and the humidity here is exceptionally high. I don't think you have humidity there. It's not 80% humidity. It's like going outside here is like taking a swim standing up,
I've been
but
to there,
in
and
lava juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's horrific.
Normally we don't. We had a big span of about 2 weeks where we had a storm and we had lots of humidity. So I know of what you speak, but it is just hot now, but it sucks and I'm just done with it. And this is why I want to move, and I may move soon. So we'll see. And
I know we often create time and space for is Emily a bad parent, but here's something that I did last week. My eldest son, he runs cross country for his school. And last week, there was a cross-country meet during the middle of a health advisory heat wave. They were going to be running at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and it was 96 degrees Fahrenheit and 70% humidity. And I said, he will not be running.
That makes sense.
In that race. And it was only 3 kilometers, which is roughly 2 miles,
Okay.
right?
Good that you said that because I would have no idea.
He's like, I signed up for it. I'll go and do it. But the morning of, I said, actually, I'm going to make the decision for us. They also had to take a bus trip that was nearly 2 hours each way, and I wouldn't have been able to get there to support him. And I said, actually, no, I'm going to make this decision for our family. You are not running that meet. You can go to tennis training that afternoon instead, but only for 1 hour. I don't want you out on the courts in that humidity for more than that time. He's like, okay, thank you for standing up for me. I was like, great. I went and picked him up. What kind of text messages do you think he was getting from his classmates?
Mocking him, making fun of him, calling him a puss for not showing up. Would that be the answer?
No.
Oh.
He was getting messages of support saying,
nice.
There are kids who have been literally fainting on the course. They've got ambulances out here. Kids are dropping like flies. You're so lucky that you're not here.
That fine show of support is unexpected and great. And also, wouldn't you think that the people in charge of this be thinking of that ahead of time? Because apparently they weren't.
No. I mean, they did. They
well,
set
they
up.
still did it, though. They didn't care enough to not do it.
Yes, but they set up water stations and all of that kind of stuff. And I think that if my son was a little bit older, maybe I would have let him, I don't know. And if this was Australia, we would have run it anyway.
Yeah, because you're running from animals.
But am I setting my son up to be a puss in that situation? I don't know. I'm sure some people listening might be like, yeah, you're setting your son up to be a puss. But I was like, if something medically happened to him and I wasn't there, I wouldn't be able to deal with that. What's your opinion?
You're setting your son up to think about issues and think through things and setting him up to stand up for what is right and true, even in the face of peer pressure is what you're doing. So yes, you are correct. You are right. You are good.
Thank you.
I will tell you
Ooh.
that I had 2 instances this week where I could have totally lost my shit and did not, and you might have even been proud of me. Right here, right now, as far as I know, you can hear this show on Apple Podcast and Spotify again. There was an instance with the past show where I adjusted audio and republished it, and I heard from a couple people that let me know, hey, I'm not seeing it on Apple Podcast. What happened? And I'm looking at my app because I use a different app, and I'm like, no, it's right there. Well, I went through a bunch of stuff, and it just was not up. And Steve Stewart, the guy that is this podcast editor and Facebook, helped me through some things. And
thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Steve Stewart. Our RSS publisher was effed up somehow. I don't know why. I've been using the same company for over a decade when I started this show. And I had to go in, get this, to the Apple and Spotify portals and reconfigure our RSS. I'm not that nerd. I don't know how to do that stuff. I had somebody do that 10 years ago. I'm an audio nerd. I had to figure that out. And it was a base RSS that was just our name with RSS on the end, and there's an actual number, and I had to find that number. And so I'm just mentioning that I was aware of the problem and I think worked it out, and we should be good there. Here's the real test of my anger. Target. For some reason, I had to go back to Target. It's big and involved. I don't want to have to get into it. I had to return something. I'm in the return line. And it was like F. Randall all over again. If you go back and listen to the F. Randall episode. In front of me is Super Hot Girl. And the workers jumped in when they saw Super Hot Girl there. An additional guy comes up because there's a big line of people, and Super Hot Girl is there, and she is returning, I'm not even exaggerating, 14 pieces of clothing and makeup. She has no receipt for any of them. So they're having to look them up one by one. And I'm standing there just ready to go next, and I'm just going insane. And they're doing this. And of course, being that she's privileged and super hot, they're like, oh, take your time. They're not saying that, but they might as well have said, oh, take your time. It's going to be okay. Everything is good. So we get through all this fucking nonsense, and 18 minutes go by. And that doesn't sound like that long, but when you're standing there doing nothing for 18 minutes, try it right now. It's a lot of time.
It's a lot of time while someone who's hot is trying to steal stuff. It's a long time.
And during that time, the guy that didn't get to help Hot Girl finished the other customer that he was with, and even with a big line of people, he just decided to go on his break. So now we're all standing there, all waiting for Super Hot Girl, and we just get it done, and she starts to leave, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can finally step up. And then she has to come back. And she says, and she has her bag. And says, excuse me. And I'm like, oh, I was just so close. She handed it to him. Could you throw that away from me? And I just, the look on my face was one of hatred. And she turned and she goes, sorry. And she said sorry, but it was kind of an insincere, like, I'm saying sorry because I have to thing, and I don't really care about you because I would have had my receipts otherwise. And I didn't scream at her and yell at her. I just glared at her. Was that bad? I feel like just the glare was satisfactory in that situation.
I think the glare is better than the alternative. I also think that if she wasn't super hot, you probably would have screamed at her.
Oh,
Also, if she was like a middle-aged man trying to pull that shit, I think you would have been done with him at 10 minutes.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And Target,
but so would have they, to be fair.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But also the guy that
agree.
was stuck with Super Hot Girl knew that it was a situation. He called for backup twice because other guy, being that he wasn't helping Super Hot Girl, went on his break. And 2 times he called to get somebody else to help us. And they just don't care because they're Target. Nobody showed up. So I thanked him when I got up there. I said, thank you. I saw you call twice. And that's just ridiculous. He goes, yeah, I don't know why they didn't come. And I said, yeah, I don't know why people don't save their receipts when they return something. And he said, yeah. So we had a good bonding moment as dudes, even though she was super hot. I'm not a lookist.
I know why people don't save their receipts.
Because
they're stealing it. Here's a fun fact about Target. And anybody who shops there regularly has a Target account. If you scan your barcode, even if you don't have a receipt, it keeps a digital copy of everything. And so if I've ever had to return anything to Target, I don't take my receipt. You know why? Because it's on the fucking internet. And I just go in and I scan my barcode. There is only one. You scan the barcode and anything that I've ever purchased in the history of ever is on there.
You mean on your app, I guess, right?
Right.
All right. Well, that's just ridiculous because if she would have had receipts, she could have just scanned the receipts and it would have been so much quicker. It's terrible. It's kind of like what they do at Costco when you do a return. But anyway, I was so done with it, and just be conscientious of other people. Pretend it's a city. I like to use that still sometimes. Pretend we live in a city where other people exist and you can maybe look out for their thoughts and feelings too.
It's also maybe she didn't realize how long it was going to take as well. My question is, why the fuck did it take that long to return a bunch of clothes?
Because it was all individual receipts. It's like she bought them all one at a time and she had 14 items and they were having to look up at least every 2 or 3 at a time, maybe even every 1 at a time. It was insane.
Wow. One of my friends, shout out to Nat, she used to work at Target.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
On the returns counter. And she would come over and have the most amazing stories. And I say that they're amazing, but I would be laughing my stupid face off at just the fucking audacity of people and Target returns. On the regular, people would come in with cartons of milk that they had refilled with water and then say it's past its use-by date. It's gross. And they can't inspect it at the time, but then later when they're pouring it down the sink after they've already given them the money back, because Target will take anything back and they can't call bullshit. They just take it back. And the lengths that some people will go to is gobsmacking. There was like an expensive brand of nail polish that somebody came to return. And you could tell what they'd done is they had poured the expensive nail polish out or used it all and then refilled it with a different color, like maybe cheaper nail polish or something, and then they returned that nail polish. I don't know if you've seen how tiny the little holes are in a nail polish bottle, but who is doing that?
We'd have to get a like siphon thing or something, probably. One of those little, what are they called?
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. A funnel.
That's funnel, thank you. Couldn't think of the word funnel.
But like, what, a funnel for ants? I feel like we're in Zoolander. What is this, a funnel for ants? But who
People
does
are
that?
devious and evil sometimes, and they abuse the system. Costco is famous for taking anything back. I had something that I had to return that was still sealed. I just didn't need it. And there were 2 guys with a barbecue that they were trying to return, and they said, "Oh, I'm sorry, we just can't return this because it was bought under another account, even though it's your dad's, and it was bought online, and we can't track it. And that was over 5 years ago." And they were showing up expecting to be able to do it. Like, oh my God, this is why normal people like me have trouble.
I've got a Costco story.
All righty.
I don't know if I've mentioned this before. Somebody that I know actually did this. This particular individual was from another country. They got a work visa and they moved over to the United States for a period of, I want to say it's about 5 years, for a work contract. They purchased everything from Costco. Everything, all of the furniture in their house, absolutely everything from Costco. 5 years go by.
You did mention this, but go ahead, pay it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they leave the country, but they exit via Costco where they return for a full refund every lounge, outdoor setting, fucking barbecue, rug, office chair, everything that they purchased from Costco and took that money and then left the country. I am so appalled. Like, who would do that? Who would use all of that stuff and then be like, I'm going to take it back?
That's a person that doesn't have a conscience, I think. That person...
It's sociopathic a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, how could you just eyeball someone? I'd be so self-conscious to just, like, walk in there and say, yep, I'm going to return this. Are you serious? 1,000%.
Yeah.
Here I am returning all of these items. Have you used these? Yes, for 5 years. Is there anything wrong with them?
How does that even
No.
make sense? You return something because you can't use it and it doesn't work out. It's clearly worked out, asshole.
I mean, what's the return code reason? I changed my mind.
Right. They probably have something like that. Costco is getting tougher on it, but it's people like that abuse the system and make it so that normal people like me who do return a lot legitimately have issues and are questioned.
Why do you return? You said return things a lot. What's your number one reason for return? Are you like, change my mind, doesn't match my hat? Like, what's your reason?
There are odd little things. I'll tell you one if you want.
I want very much.
Generally, if things are not made well and it has like a year warranty and it shits out after 3 months, I'll do a Stew Express return, like in a vacuum filter or something. Oh, this is totally mucked up. It's supposed to last a year. I've known going through the program directly that they put you through all these hoops that you have to jump through and, warranty service and send us a picture. And they make you cut the cord sometimes to say that you're not going to be able to use this anymore. It's bullshit. So I'll just go and buy the exact same vacuum cleaner 3 months later and return the old one. To me, that's fair. To me, nobody loses in that situation. Video game controllers are another thing. They don't last. They go bad. They get stick drift. And there's been an occasion where 3 months after I buy it, it shits out, and that's $80 that I've spent for no reason. I'll go and buy a new one and return the old one. I feel like that's fair. If people didn't make shit products, people wouldn't do this. And you do have to be careful if you're out there taking notes. Sometimes they put serial numbers on there. You have to watch out for that.
You know, I've been a victim of somebody who participated in the Stew Express return, and it was very damaging for my relationship. Would you like to hear that story?
Yes, what happened?
Many years ago, before Robert and I were dating and got married, I was in a long-term relationship with someone. And for Christmas one year, I purchased him a rice cooker. On Christmas morning, when he unwrapped and opened his rice cooker, we discovered that it was a stew return, and some motherfucker had been using that rice cooker for a very long time and then had put it in the box and returned it, and
You've
no one
also
had
told
checked
us
it.
this story, but it's good because it pays off the bit. Yes. You had a bunch of goo in there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was rice goo.
Well, okay, but that's the thing is they returned it as new. I would never return something as new. I return it as used and defective. So then they just send it back to the manufacturer. They're not going to give it to somebody else.
I don't know. We're making an assumption about the inner workings of whoever we return stuff
I'm
to.
doing my part as a thought-worthy consumer. That's my point. Anyway. On with the news, the regular news. It's not all good. Some of it's very bad. Dolly Parton. God damn it. That just happened.
Bad.
She died yesterday, and you, the Total Babble Grim Reaper, are usually the one that texts me and tells me, hey, this person just died.
Yep.
And she was somebody that I was not into her music, but nobody can say anything bad about Dolly Parton, and I had wonderful, good thoughts about her, and there is no better person probably on this planet. She was a better person than I was her entire life, so...
Yeah, she's a wonderful human being. As somebody with their finger on the pulse, as soon as it stops, I'm there, ready to share the terrible news. Wrong 80-year-old. God, if you're listening.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely the wrong 80-year-old. But this morning, I was going back through and watching some of Dolly's great interviews. And the thing that really strikes me about her, not only was she just a wonderful human being who taught us all that kindness never goes out of fashion, she was really funny.
Yeah.
Genuinely humorous and a little bit cheeky too. And I really enjoyed that about her. Her stories, she's just such an amazing, warm, wonderful presence. And I think that she will truly be missed. She had such an impact on so many people. And I feel actually very lucky to have been alive at the same time.
Yeah, she will be missed because her positiveness will not be in the press doing good things. And also, she will literally be missed because she gave millions and millions of dollars away to organizations that needed it. Books for kids and this and that. And she didn't talk about all of it, but I watched a news report last night. Just a recap of all the things that she did for the world. And like I said, no better person.
There was one story that I think about a lot, and I'm not going to get the details of it perfectly correct, but she went down to a local high school and she met with all the kids, and she's like, choose a buddy, and if you both graduate, I'll give you both $500. And the graduation or the dropout rate went from something like 35 to 40% down to only 6% of that graduating class. And she went down and she handed out the checks herself to those graduating kids. And I really believe that education is one of the great equalizers, and I think that Dolly did as well, and all of the investment that she gave around the literacy program for children. Hundreds of thousands of children under the age of 5 in this country received free books from Dolly Parton monthly.
Yep.
And people graduated and went on to college and have lived a better life because of that woman. And those people have no doubt made a difference. I think that just like the force multiplication, the compounding good that she did, it wasn't just her helping one person who had a better life. It was about her creating systemic change in people's lives that sort of rippled out. I think about it like that. It just amazing. I think we'll never be able to truly understand the depth of influence that she has had on people.
And that's because she kept a lot of it to herself and just did it because it was the right thing to do and didn't highlight it. And you and I have talked nearly every time somebody dies about how when somebody dies, people act like they're just a fine person and a great person no matter what. And to a degree that happened even with Lindsey Graham, and people spoke up and said, no, that guy was a piece of shit. And I will always say if somebody was a piece of shit, but truly there is nobody that can say anything bad about her and all the great stuff she did. So
I would be surprised if anybody comes out of the woodwork. I mean, what would they have to say?
Yeah, there's nothing. And even if they did, they look like the asshole then, because how can you say anything bad?
How could you say anything bad? There was a segment on a talk show and they asked Dolly, what is your biggest pet peeve? And do you know what she said? No one notices that I've got a great ass too.
I saw a quote, I forget the exact context, but it was something like, oh, you don't like what I said about that? Well, tough titty. And I just thought that was so wonderful and great. Like, okay, have fun with you, be you. That's great.
Be you.
Yeah.
All these earnest interviews with her, and people are like, and the folks want to know, when you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing that you do? She's like, well, I get out of bed and I put on my clothes. And then usually I just go straight home.
Nice.
So, Dolly. Pour one up for Dolly. We
great.
love you, Dolly. We miss you.
Yeah, and by the way, don't Google DP tribute because you'll get all kinds of different results on the internet, I found.
Wow.
I did. I Googled DP tribute and it didn't work out for me the way I thought.
Oh, my God. Oh, speaking about DP.
Yeah.
We watched we watched The Invite based on your recommendation.
What did you think?
Oh, loved it. It was great.
Such a good movie, right?
It was such a good film. However, I was so incredibly uncomfortable.
I almost brought that up ahead of time because I know you, but I didn't want to put that out there and have it be self-fulfilling. You know what I mean?
Oh, I was very uncomfortable for a lot of it. But everything that you said about it is true.
Just the fact that it takes on so many different roles and directions and aspects. And even when it was about that thing that made you uncomfortable, it ended up not really being about that thing in the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. And I remember the moment where I realized, oh God, the title is not about what I thought it was.
Yeah.
It's about the other thing.
Yeah.
And so I know we're being incredibly cryptic because we don't want to ruin the experience for any listeners who haven't yet had the pleasure of watching that film. However, watch it, have a good time. Probably wouldn't watch it with my parents.
No.
Yeah.
And how great was every single actor in that movie? Every single one of them. And Olivia Wilde and the direction and like the camera angles. I could go on and on and on about it.
It was really great. At one point, I remember saying to my husband, the thing that I was admiring about it in the process was actually the writing. I have to believe that a lot of it was maybe ad-libbed, because the thing that struck me was people were talking like how you talk to people in your own house and in your own kitchen. It was a bit messy, a bit burbly, not clean, not crisp, use of filler words, all of that kind of thing. And I was just struck by how realistic it felt.
It was, but it wasn't. I know the answer to that. This was based on a foreign play. Was it Spanish, Italian? I don't remember. But they took the basis of that play, and then all four of them sat down, I think with another person, to write the screenplay. And they all worked on it together for 2 or 3 weeks and did the rewrite of it and came up with it kind of using their own voices. And that's where that came to be.
Yeah. Oh, it was really good. Well worth a watch.
Yeah, it's one of those that when it comes out on some kind of physical format, Blu-ray or whatever, I'm going to actually buy because I want to watch that forever. I found a way to download it somehow, and I've been watching it until I can actually buy it. So there's that.
You've watched it multiple times?
I've watched it twice now. I like it that much. Because the second time you can go back and look at, the artistry of it. Oh, she did that there, and then this camera move, and she's shooting through that window. And it makes it sound like an arty film, but it's not that. It's just so super cool.
It is a thoughtful
and it's funny as hell.
Film. It's funny as hell.
Yeah.
I don't like, let me correct myself. Generally speaking, I am not a fan of Seth Rogen.
He's just him usually, like I said last week or whatever.
I thought that, and I was reluctant to watch it because he's in it.
Yeah.
I only watched it because you recommended it, and I even sat down going, I don't know if I'm going to like this because this fucking guy. But I thought that he was great. And it's Penelope Cruz, isn't it?
Yeah, who I never had a thing for, but now I have a thing for. Oh my God, she's beautiful.
She played a role differently than I'd ever seen before. And so it was very, very interesting.
And she especially is captivating just when they're on her and she's doing little things, looking around and with her eyes. And it's like, wow, they could just shoot on her and it would be great. And they take advantage of that. And there you go. The Invite is what we're talking about. Watch it today.
Yes.
In other news, AOC is single. Do you know her? Because I'd like you to set me up. I feel like she and I would be good together. You knew through a friend of a friend, MGT, so maybe you know her too. How about it?
I don't. And I think she might be a bit young for you. I don't want to be ageist.
No, she's in her 30s. I could go 30s. I mean, she's the look you're giving me. Jesus. I could go 30s. I'm not that old.
I'm sure you could go 30s.
I'm not talking 19. I'm talking 30s.
What's the limit, do you think? Like, what is the point at which, like, how many years older do you go,
It depends on the person, and it depends on the attitudes of the people. With her, she's smart and together and sharp, and she, younger, could come up to my level, is an old wise man. So that would be okay. I think generally when I look at who I would date, I go 10, 15 years younger, maybe. That's where I would go. So she'd be in there.
Yeah, I feel like 15 is too far. Because I think when you're in your 30s and 40s, you think, oh yeah, older, wiser, whatever. Things go downhill real quick. the older that you get. Like once you get into your 50s, you start to age faster than what you do. And so if you're 15 to 20 years younger than your husband, think about this. You're going to be 50 and he's going to be 70.
Yeah.
You're going to be 60 and he's going to be 80. This is like Trump and Melania on steroids. It becomes a lot.
But what about if you consider the fact that I'm very immature? If you factor that in, it kind of balances out in a lot of cases.
I feel like it's less about the mental connection and more about physical degradation.
Yeah.
And, for example, if you don't have kids, this is going to sound very ageist, but I'm going to say it anyway, because my husband and I, we talk about this. If you're a man who has kids in your 50s, 60s, or 70s, I feel like it's selfish because you are going to be dead before those kids get to high school, and you are making a decision that your kids are going to grow up without you and someone else is going to have to figure out how to support them.
I can agree with that. Tony Randall, that Odd Couple actor, was very famous for that. He was like in his 80s and had a wife in her 30s or 40s, and they had kid after kid after kid. And everybody looked at that and said, what are you doing? I'm with you on that.
Fucking Baldwin. What is it, Alec Baldwin?
Yeah.
And Hilaria, the fake accent freak.
Do you like her? I'm just wondering.
No.
Okay.
Why would I mean, I don't even know who she is. What is she? Is she just famous
dumb,
for...
is what she is.
Is she famous for having his babies?
Apparently. They had a reality TV show, and for some reason we talked about her at one point, and I got the impression that you liked her. And there is a great TV show. It's dumb. You wouldn't think it would be good, but it's a reality game show, Dumbest Celebrity Alive or something, and she's on there. And I wouldn't normally watch such crap, but it's pretty good crap. It comes from a British show, and then they Americanized it, so it's not as cheesy. And she's on there, and celebrities have to win the contest in order to get off the show. And the last one that's on the show is the dumbest celebrity on the planet. And they had like the Napoleon Dynamite guy on there, and Carmen Electra. God, she's just the dumbest. Something happens with her that I won't go into. But that's an entertaining show. And Hilaria is on there, and she's pretty dumb. And I think a lot of it, too, is, do you get dumb because you have the baby voice, or do you have the baby voice because you're dumb? Or do they just go hand in hand? Because that's what she's got going on. It's annoying.
Also, can we just talk a minute about how fucking creepy it is? Guys who are attracted to the baby voice?
Oof. Never. It's like you're doing stuff with a 6-year-old. Who wants that?
Well, apparently Alec Baldwin does.
Yeah. He's got issues too. He's on my side politically, but that guy's got a lot of problems.
Yeah, he's got a lot of problems. I mean, he did kill someone. That's enough to fuck anyone up, isn't it?
Not convicted, or was he? Do we even know at this point? We can't even keep track of it at this point.
Honestly, acquitted doesn't mean that he didn't do it.
Right.
This is like the Lindsay Clancy trial. So everybody knows that he was the one who pulled the trigger and it was an accident, but he did kill that person.
Yeah. However it happened, he pulled the trigger.
Exactly.
Or while he even disputes that he pulled the trigger, I think. Yeah.
Of course,
it would be hard for that to happen if he didn't pull the trigger, whatever. I don't know the details.
But again, and apparently it was misfired. It doesn't matter. There shouldn't have been live rounds in it. I think the woman running the armory is the one who went down for it, and rightly so. However, he still has bats in the bell tower over that one, 100%. And I feel sorry for him. That's a terrible tragedy.
Yeah, the situation sucked, but also there was blame there, and somebody should have had more forethought, whoever that person was.
Exactly.
So yeah, AOC, single. Natalie Harp is not single, or is she not single? Natalie Harp, what's going on there?
Fucking hell. We needed to bring this up as like the first topic of the show.
I had it first on the list here, but we talk.
There is not enough time for horse teeth fucking Harp and to talk about that absolute fucking loon bag. Just some of the best photos that I've seen in recent history are of that fucking psycho clippity-clopping running behind Trump's golf
because
carts.
They didn't have enough golf carts. They told her they didn't have enough golf carts, and she's running when everybody else is in a golf cart. What an asshole.
What an asshole. And then she's jumping in the trunk of cars. She's refusing to get security clearance. This is the personification. This feels like Tinkerbell's, not Tinkerbell. This feels like the fairy godmother has come down and magicked a yappy fucking shih tzu and turned it into a human being. And everyone is saying, there's no room for you. They're trying to get rid of her, but she will not be told. And so she's like, yeah, it's okay. It's fine.
Well, and everybody can see what's going on here. She is placating to his ego. He's this 80-year-old man who thinks he can get this 30, however old she is, hot blonde girl. And that does nothing but feed his ego. And that feeds her emptiness because she's a fucking lunatic, crazy person. And they're both codependent with each other, just working with each other's nonsense and psychosis. And then in the meantime, Melania appears to be getting fucking pissed. And if Melania is the first lady, I guess Natalie is the first obsessed crazy cult member is what her title would be. It's amazing to me.
I disagree with you on one very important piece. Ooh,
okay.
I'm so excited about it. I'm like smacking the table.
Yeah.
I think that Melania is positively fucking delighted.
Ooh, keeps her away from him.
She will not travel in a car with him. She's probably so happy that he has a new chew toy that she doesn't have to deal with his fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
She's probably so happy that there's someone else wiping his ass and not her. Wow.
The rumors, and these are just rumors, is that Melania just signed a new deal where she has to be around him less and make less appearances in order to get paid off, as she allegedly is getting paid off, and that's why she's been around less. So you're probably right. That makes total sense.
Yeah, amazing. This woman, what is she doing? And have you read the letters?
Yeah, I've heard the letters, parts of them on the news, and she's genuinely crazy, obsessed and crazy. She's a lunatic. She's Boyle, a bunny from Fatal Obsession or whatever that movie was.
Fatal Attraction.
Yeah, that's her. I mean, she's just nuts. And she's done this before with other political leaders, her brother said. So she's finally found one to latch onto. And now she's daddy and fuck daddy, allegedly, whatever is going on.
She is literally a stalker. If you haven't made the time and you want to feel like you want to scratch out your own eyeballs and throw up in your own mouth, just go and read. Yeah, good times. Good times. I'm just one Natalie Harp letter away from my goal weight. Just go and read that absolute fucking drivel and you will be horrified. And it reads like an obsessed crazy person. In one of the letters, and I'm paraphrasing here because I don't have it in front of me. I burnt them after printing them out. I was horrified. She talks about how she hadn't eaten. She hadn't slept. Hello?
She doesn't need to. She has him right there. He's all the energy she needs. She's that kind of nutty. He is her energy. Oh my God. Who could ever be that way about another person?
Oh my God,
we're going to talk about more needy coming up here, and that is just the ultimate needy and codependency. And this kind of thing really rubs me the wrong way because looking back, I have been needy and codependent in my life, and I at least identified that. And I said, why am I so obsessed about this person and needing to be fulfilled in whatever way? I need to get away from that. But these people are taking it to just goddamn crazy levels.
It's too far.
Yeah.
It's too far.
Here's the iffy question. Do you think she changes his diaper if he has a diaper? Do you think she does that? Is that part of her thing? If there is a thing, if he has a diaper?
Well, she could be his home health aide.
Yeah.
She could be his nurse. That she could be the person who's assigned to him because she has no political job.
Right.
They refer to her as the human printer.
Didn't have clearance until recently.
I don't think she has clearance. She's just filled out the paperwork.
Okay. So that might be her role there. Okay, here's the question. Here's the ultimate question. Do you think, if this is going on, that she changes his diaper with a happy ending? Do you think that's still an interest of his? I would think it's still an interest of his, and even if it's not an interest of his because of who he is, that he likes that because of the attention and the being dominating part of him. It feeds into all that. Here, you go, service this.
At his age, I think it is very unlikely that he would be able to do that spontaneously. And so it would need to be scheduled, and there would need to be drugs involved. Like Viagra or something like that.
Something we don't want to think about that we should. All right, here's this thing I really want to get to because it started off as...
That wasn't it!
No. Oh,
wow.
I'm beyond fucking livid with this.
I thought we'd peaked.
This started out as an update, a friendly thing, and then it just got me fucking pissed when I heard this update last night. First part of this, Rosie O'Donnell. She's been guest hosting Kimmel, and there's new audio that I wanted to play for you from the past week. She did a song for Dawn, and the first thing is we'll play the song. The song is pretty good. I like this. Here you go.
Oh, Donny boy, it's Rosie calling from Hollywood, the Jimmy Kimmel Show. Drop that Big Mac that we all know you're holding, because, my dear, I worry for you so. Poor Donny boy, your poles are falling. Your reflecting pool is green as Mountain Dew. Your wig's a mess, your ballroom is appalling, and with the ran, you bit off more than you can chew. Measles are back, inflation is a swelling. You post all night, you're sleeping while you work. And what's with all this useless crap you're selling? Hey, sweetie pie, you're driving us all berserk. But there's a way to end this drama. It's time to use that stable genius brain, since we all know you'll never be Obama.
Great.
Why not resign and make this country great again? Yes, we all know you'll never be Obama. Come on, resign and make this country great again.
So, great job, good singing. I'm sure she had help with the writing, but that's Rosie O'Donnell from the Kimmel Show where she's been filling in. And my addendum to that, my little comment on that was, I think what everybody realizes, but I don't hear verbalized that much, Trump is so obsessed with all this pool arch demolishing the White House and stupid minor little things, walking around pointing at things and destroying them like a Damien evil toddler. It seems like that's because all of his aides are trying to keep him away from the important stuff. Like they're really saying, oh, look over here, arch. So they keep him away from destroying the world and acting impetuously with something that they know he's not going to react well to. It seems like that is part of what's going on. What do you think about that?
I think you might be onto something. Have you seen his latest DC beautification project?
Nah, you can't keep track of them all.
This motherfucker is renovating shit like this is Liberace's bathroom. Just everything. So there are a couple of bronze statues that welcome people into DC. He has covered them in gold. They are gaudy gold. Just beacons of excess.
It seems like, oh my God, don't let him get near that. Look over here. Keys, there's keys over here. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, I think that they are probably doing that. But also, and maybe this is in some ways worse, that he is as shallow as a puddle, so as deep as a puddle, and so shallow and so focused on inconsequential bullshit that really is what he worries about. Kennedy Center. Now, because Donnie can't have his name on it, he's threatening to tear it down.
Saw that this morning.
Just absolute insanity, is doing everything he can to slap his name and brush some gold on as many things as possible. And that's all that he cares about, not making real sustainable change or anything that's positive, but just like short-term gain for himself and his cronies.
The never-ending, unwavering country is just amazing, and the fact that it never ends, and it really feels like, oh my God, this lunatic, what is he going to do now? And just decide that this thing is going to happen. Set him off on that statue, point him over there. That's what it feels like. And I wonder who's really running things, because I feel like he's perhaps walking around shitting his pants, and they're trying to keep him away from everything.
You might be onto something there. And then I would ask the question then, who's really running things?
Yep.
And then, in that same breath, and this is horrific for me to think about, is after he falls off the twig, is anything going to change? Or will it be exactly the same, just with a different face? Because DJ JD Vance, wicka wicka, will like step up to the mic and be like throwing his heart out. Oh my God, these people.
I think it'll be more Project 2025 stuff and less remodeling the White House stuff, because they won't need to pay attention to that other stuff anymore. It'll just be more taking over the world, but I don't think it will be effective, because I think once he dies, a lot of his cult members who are already starting to go are going to go with him. So
that would be absolutely fantastic. Yeah. And the Project 2025, people have said that I'm a conspiracy theorist for like pointing things out, but getting rid of all the wild horses in there, destabilizing the food supply, it's in there. I think I was raging to you earlier this week. I went grocery shopping, as I do. I'm very mindful, and I do meal plans, and I go grocery shopping. And it's so stressful for me whilst trying to feed my family that I need to come home then and audit everything every day that's in my refrigerator or in my pantry, just to make sure that I don't accidentally poison my fucking kids, because so many things are on recall and poison. It's horrific.
There is also, it seems, another COVID outbreak happening that we're not hearing about. I know that sounds conspiracy, but I heard reports that it's starting to happen again. And I went to CVS yesterday to pick up other stuff. And the pharmacist there that likes me, she said, I can't even tell you how many people are coming in here infected, and we have no vaccines to give them. We have nothing to give them, because I guess they're still working on it. And with all the funding and all this shit, this is my extrapolation, that there's no COVID vaccine right now, and they don't have any of the old one, and things are terrible. And she goes, keep wearing that mask. You don't know how bad it is, really. And I'm like, okay, there's that. That makes sense with everything. And it's just make things as bad as we possibly can, because that will divert attention and that will let us keep control. And that's the goal, it seems.
The lunacy is still staggering. I cannot attribute this, because I do apologize. I didn't take note of who the creator was, but there was a guy out there, interviewing people at these political rallies, and he's speaking to some Trump tard. And he asks her a question about something, and she brings up vaccines. And he said, so you're against vaccines? She's like, absolutely, I am 100% against vaccines. And he says, all vaccines? She said, yes, they're poison. He said, the polio vaccine? And she's like, when was the last time we had polio?
Point made.
What, the 60s?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, since the vaccine.
Yeah. Weird how that worked out, huh?
It's fucking weird how that worked out, right? But to your point, measles. Measles is back. So many things are coming back because we are not doing vaccines, or we're just not doing protections, like screwworm. We'd all but eradicated that. I know I'm jumping over from humans to livestock here, but all of these things are happening because we did away with all of the protections. And I love how people forget that the reason that we have health and safety guidelines is because someone has to protect us from unfettered capitalism. Are we forgetting that they used to put chalk in off milk to hide the fact that it was rotten?
Yeah.
They will do anything.
It's all big business taking advantage of people, and that's what it comes down to. Anything for a buck.
Anything for a
And-
buck, Stu.
Yeah. So I want to get to this thing that pisses me off before the end of the show.
Oh, great. That wasn't it?
No. Oh my God. This on a personal level annoys me because, like I
Okay.
said, I used to be a codependent person and I'm really not anymore. I could give a fuck. Rosie was on Kimmel. She's doing good things. I think she did an admirable job. Kathy Griffin apparently is a friend of Rosie's, and she was feeling needy when Rosie was on the show and then felt the need to go on social media and post this.
I'm just going to come out and say it. Are you ready? It's embarrassing to say, but I have to tell you guys because we're friends.
Already her tone of voice annoys the fuck out of me. I can't be around her.
My feelings are really hurt that I was not invited to go on Rosie's week of the Jimmy Kimmel show. And I thought, well, she's the guest host. She may have no say in it. And to this day, I don't know if she has any say in it. As far as I know, she could or could not. How would I know, right? I started getting more correspondence and just friends calling me that know me and know the two of us to be friends, etc., and saying like, which night are you doing? And are you going to be a surprise? And are you guys doing a sketch or just a sit down interview? And, I admit I was kind of getting excited, like, yeah, this could be a really cool moment. Then that moment passed and kept passing. She's doing a great job and will continue to. If I have one call to action, it's that you guys watch the show and support her. I just think it's a tricky situation because I'm having all kinds of the feels.
Fuck
I
off.
will watch every night and cheer her on, of course.
That is lunatic behavior. That is shut the hell away from me. I can't be around you. You're so psychotic and so self-obsessed. And to immediately think that your friend gets a good thing so they have to make it about you is just fucking crazy behavior and so self-obsessed. Like that's just
Yes.
gross and skin crawling, right?
That is. And that is a whole situation that has been created in her own head.
Right.
And she allowed that to fester. Also, all of the people who were texting her asking if she was going to go on, their correct response would be, I have no expectation of that. I can't wait to see what happens. I'm so happy and excited for her.
And I
This
think
is
even that
crazy.
happened because I looked at her feed and I think it was the week of or the week before Rosie was on the show. She posted a picture of them having something to do with the Jimmy Kimmel show, almost as a thing of like, oh, look at me. Look what I could be doing with you. It's just so needy and so get the fuck on with your own life. Like even if you didn't apply this to show business, if you're going to expect that your friends are going to need to include you in some success they just had, you need real big help.
And I don't know if there was like a precedent for it. I think there are in Hollywood, there are a variety of, I'll just use the word cliques, for example, where they're always together, everything that they do is together. Here's one, Matt Damon and
Ben
the other
Affleck.
guy, Ben Affleck. Yeah, okay. So everyone associates them as like a duo, okay?
Yeah.
And so I don't think that either one of them would ever come out and say something like that, but I swear to God, if it was going to be one of them, it's fucking Ben Affleck, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, I got those vibes from him. So if anyone was going to do it, it would be him. But I could sort of understand that if there was this precedent and people knew them as a package deal, that maybe she would feel that way. But why would you ever actually tell the world that you felt that way?
Right.
But I don't get that same vibe from Kathy Griffin and Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it's not like they're the odd couple and are constantly seen together.
Exactly.
I didn't even know they were friends. They're acquaintances, maybe even.
Right. It's not like, Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog.
Right.
You don't expect that. This is giving me Natalie Harp vibes.
Yeah, it's lunatic behavior. And even if you had that deep within your soul, why would you need to take it to public and show everybody that you're upset about this? That's beyond look at me.
Yeah. I don't think I care about it as much. Like I'm not having a big emotional reaction about it, as in like I'm mad about it. But it is making me think less of Kathy Griffin. Not that we're coming off much of a start,
Right.
but I always, just for the fact that Donald Trump doesn't like her,
Right.
I always liked her a little bit, and she has a joke that I fucking love that I use whenever I can, and I bet you can guess which one it is.
I don't know enough about her to have it.
Okay. She was once doing a live cross, and someone was heckling her, and her retort was essentially, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I don't come down to your work and slap the cocks out of your mouth.
Right.
And I was like,
didn't realize that was her. That is good.
Get it.
And I don't like her. I'm not a fan of hers, but I've been supportive of her when she was holding the president's severed head up. I was like, okay, that's a little bit much even for me, but it's her free speech. Go ahead, go with it. And I thought there was way too much made about that. But this is just like crazy behavior. And then I break it down to, even if it's not about celebrity and showbiz, even if you just attributed it to your normal life, if somebody did that with you in another part of your life, how would you handle that? What would you do with that person?
Did that to me?
Yeah. Like came out publicly and said, I don't understand why you didn't do this with me. Help me. Like I would instantly be done with them. I wouldn't even make it official. I wouldn't give it a big fuck you. I would just say, well, that didn't happen because of this. And I had other things going on. And oh, by the way, Rosie doesn't choose the guest, but that's not even part of the thing. I would just say, I didn't have the ability to get with you right now on this. And then I would never, ever have anything to do with them again.
Unless they actually asked the question of me, I wouldn't respond.
At all?
No.
Okay.
And I probably wouldn't have anything to do with them. I would stop communicating with them. If they reached out to me and asked me the question, or if we had some type of interaction, I would let my feelings be known about it.
Yeah.
But I feel like that is actually a betrayal of an actual friendship. None of my friends, one, would ever be jealous of me if I got a really good opportunity, because that's what it is. And then jealous enough or bent enough to think that that then would entitle them in some way to, you know, whatever it is. But I would not be friends with someone who behaved in that way.
Yeah, like if somebody thought that way and came to me with it directly, I would be like, what? You're thinking about what? But if they put it out there publicly, I'm done with you.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's one thing if sort of privately you had a conversation and we're like, hey, I was really hoping that this could happen, and I'm a little bit jealous, or there's a difference between having that personal moment of connection and sharing that information, but between friends, if you really are good friends, because you can share your deepest, darkest thoughts with your friends, right? And you expect that they'll accept you for that. But there's something about going into the public eye and making a spectacle of it that is really fucked.
Like to me,
I don't know what the medical term is, but it's fucked.
A private moment of, hey, any room for me when you're doing that, that would be maybe a little bit off-putting because it's not about you, but I would be okay, and I would be okay with the friendship. To go on like she did one-on-one, that would be really off-putting. And then to do that big scale in the public, I would just be done with you.
And also the phrasing of it is peculiar and doesn't seem to have any of the self-awareness of this is a feeling that is actually a problem.
Right.
So she's not being self-deprecating in any way, which is, this is probably not the right way to feel, but I'm a little bit jealous.
Or if this was done as a joke. Oh, that would have been off-putting, but not as bad.
Right, exactly. But the fact that she just bald-faced is like, I'm actually hurt about this.
I'm getting all the feels. Oh, fuck off. I'm tired of your feels and your journeys. Just fucking go somewhere. Go on your fucking journey away from me. God.
Your journey of feelings.
Get
the fuck out of here.
In fact,
shut the hell away from me.
There's a goddamn show, and I'm pretty happy about it. There have been design changes in this thing that we used to record, and it seems to have worked out. So I'm happy about that. And I would like to thank you for a wonderful show.
Thank you. It is great to see you. You've been positively delightful
Aw.
as one of my favorite rage bunnies. It's been fun. Just getting mad.
Everybody have a good one. We'll talk to you next time.
See you next time. We're screaming down the well of despair.
Okay, you know how this goes. Like us, subscribe, tell your friends, write a nice review, engage with us. We're Total Babble on Instagram, on Facebook, on Threads, and on Blue Sky. Email is show@totalbabble.com. The Total Babble Podcast.